Hey there, comic friends, I'm Travis, and this is another edition of Monster Comics Reviews. We talk about lots of superhero books, and let me tell you, there are lots of superhero books. I believe this is the end of my 2013 comics. This is for the either second, third, or third and fourth weeks of December, week before Christmas, I think. Haven't decided. Do the comics that come out this half week, that's half 2014, 2013, are those 2013 books or are those 2014 books? Anyway, so, gonna talk lots of books. We'll see how long this goes on. We'll see how much I have to say, I guess is what it comes down to, right? Animal Man, issue 26. Of course, we all know this comic is going to be coming to a close. It's a real shame. This issue was excellent. It touches on the red and the green again, but it ties in some other stuff. It ties into, pays homage to the older origins of Animal Man with his potential alien origins that they flirted with back in the past with this book prior to the New 52 and stuff. Just really good. Cully Hammer does the artwork in this. I actually really like Cully Hammer's art in this. I'm a Cully Hammer fan anyway, but I think it really works really well with this book. Quite cool. This was such a good book. It's kind of, man, sucks that it's going to be ending. Like I keep saying, glad that it's going to get to end on its own terms, but bummer to see it ending. I really like this character. This makes the character solid again. I'm glad that we aren't stuck out in space. I was really worried that the storyline was going to be is he goes out into space and he's going to run into like Adam Strange and those people, because I know that coming up in the new Justice League of Canada that Jeff Lemire is writing, that Animal Man is going to be on that team, and I know that Adam Strange is going to be on that team, and I thought maybe that's what we're going to somehow do, was going to be something like that. So, good to see that he's going to be going back. We'll get all this stuff with the red and whatnot cleared up, hopefully, and land on good footing. Next up is Batman at Two-Face issue 26. Really loving this Two-Face story arc a lot. This issue in particular is incredibly strong. You got this really interesting, of course you've got, Harvey Dent, Two-Face, his duality of his two sides. We find out that our main female criminal here, the McCullens, they were actually twin sisters. One was more of the hothead, volatile. One was more of the thinking, wise person. A duality themselves. Half of that duality gets purposely, killed because they're stuck in prison because Dent put them there. You get some implications that maybe Dent isn't the darling that we have all kind of envisioned Dent before he becomes Two-Face might have been. And you see potentially why it is that McCullen exact her revenge upon Two-Face and his wife and whatnot because of what happened to her. Really great story as far as that goes. Kind of exciting, action-packed end to the thing. We're going to see what happens and what comes next. Really digging this. Continue to think that Patrick Gleason as an artist is an extremely underrated storyteller with his design and whatnot. Peter Tomasi is firing on all cylinders in this book. Just really loving it. Great book. The Bounce, issue 8. Things are starting to come to a serious header between the city government and between the city and the military government that are running these experiments. We get some more crazy stuff going on with this other alternate reality. Things aren't 100% being explained. I wouldn't say this was a fabulous book. As I continue to do these reviews, it's got just enough going on to keep me interested in wanting to know what's happening. So it's good from that perspective. Is it having the payoffs that it should be having? I'm not sure that it is. But like I said, it keeps dangling enough fruit in front of me that I keep wanting to read it. So I will continue on with it. It just has this interesting... I want to see this all tied together. I guess I'm waiting to see it all tied together. I want to know what that whole answer to the whole thing is. And I guess if it can stay entertaining in between while that's happening, I'll be on board. And it has pretty much been that. So not a whole lot for me to say about it. I guess, you know, our main character is still just as lost as ever was, but, you know, getting his feet under him a little better. Starting to take charge of stuff and not just be out screwing around as a superhero, but starting to be a little more proactive in, look, there's some larger machine moving here, and I need to understand what's going on. So that's getting interesting. Daredevil, Man Without Fear, issue 34. I had just spent this whole last weekend doing hangouts and kind of, excuse me, and kind of going, I don't get it. You know, you guys are all talking about how awesome this is, and I've like, okay, you know, it's supposed to be this Eisner Award winning book. You know, what's the deal? It just isn't really grabbing me. I don't know if it's because it's the wind down. We've got 2 more issues before the book is canceled and then relaunched at a higher price in a month or so. I actually like this issue. This issue is actually interesting. The last 2 I didn't really care for. They felt relatively pedestrian and who cares. This one felt a little more impactful and whatnot. I do like some of the secondary characters that are in this. Maybe that's why I enjoyed it as much as I did. But no, this was actually an enjoyable issue. I mean, I don't know. I think I don't know. Other people are saying the opposite, that have been reading it all this time or not. But it wasn't bad. Is this going to be enough for me to sign on to Daredevil when it relaunches at the higher price point? Probably not. I really like the Daredevil character, but I'm not that excited by the book unless these last 2 issues, which I probably will end up getting, just, you know, crack my head open in some way. I doubt I'll be picking up the new Daredevil when it rolls in. FF issue 15. Battle plan has been commenced. Unleashing the forces upon Doom, setting these things in motion to basically set up Doom to get himself trapped to where they can actually finish him off. So Lang, Ant-Man, can come in and do the coup de grace on Doom and solve their problems and hopefully save the Fantastic Four and everything else like that. Still a really enjoyable comic. I'm excited to see what happens. It's got some funny moments in it. The kids are always great. The kids are my favorite part of this. I haven't heard if this book is being shut down after this arc is done, or if it's going to go on or not. I don't know. I'm still really digging the kids. The kids are what I like about it. I like Darla too. Actually, I like all of them. They're all fun. It's just the kid plot lines seem to be a little more entertaining. Less of that in here, but still fun to see this kind of crazy zoo of a plan they have to take out Doom. Fits so well with the characters and is a lot of fun. Curious to see how it all ties in. I mean, I'm sure they don't defeat Doom, but what does it end up really being like? I'm really curious for. Great fun stuff. Whoa, got the yawns today, obviously. Day after the New Year's Eve. Forever Evil, issue 4. Keep waxing and waning on this title. Actually kind of enjoyed this issue, if I'm remembering it correctly, versus the Justice League issue that I'll be talking about later on. I think I do. This is more the Lex Luthor. I'm really fascinated by Lex Luthor's relationship with Bizarro. I love those bits and pieces in here. That was really cool. I enjoyed that. The bit of Batman and Catwoman in here is also really interesting. The 2 conflicting with each other is fascinating. Batman having all this crap he's pulled together to hopefully try and, you know, do whatever they do or defeat the Syndicate. Whips out the Sinestro ring, pops it on, becomes, you know, Yellow Batman very briefly before he gets hosed. I thought that was really cool. Sinestro suddenly appears at the end of this book, and that confuses me in that where did he come from? I mean, did he just suddenly teleport in? I thought the yellow ring got smashed up. When it gets smashed up, does that somehow summon him? I'm not exactly sure I understand that part of it. But actually, this was kind of a really cool issue. The Forever Evil, to a large degree, seems to be, large chunks of it seem to be, anyway, a Lex Luthor story, which, I'm okay with. I'm actually, like I said, I'm back to actually liking the book again. Every other book, it seems to be the case that I like it or I don't like it. I really like this one. Like I said, I like Bizarro. I like the relationship between Lex and Bizarro, and we get a little bit of Lex personality in this storytelling, which I think is cool. It's a good book. Harley Quinn, issue number 1. I didn't pick up issue 0, mostly because I just felt kind of like it was going to be kind of a gimmick kind of thing, and it wasn't going to really tell us a story. It was more just kind of a, hey, let's have some fun to set up what's going to go on. So I picked up this one to see what it was like, because, people were kind of talking about it, and I do like Harley, despite the new costume choices. So I thought I would check it out. Actually kind of really enjoy it. It's kind of fun. She's gone to Coney Island. She's been awarded in a will this warehouse apartment complex kind of a thing, on a corner in Coney Island. She has renters now, and she needs to find herself a job because it's going to cost a lot of money to maintain this place, and she just loves it because this is a thing and whatnot. So that's really cool. Some of the renters, one of the renters thinks it's really funny. Shara Smash kind of pointed this out, that one of the renters in here looks like Danzig. I mean, he really does. I mean, down to the fishnet shirt and everything. So that's pretty funny. Now I can't help but when I look at the book and I open it up and I see him come on panel, I envision him singing when he comes on panel. But that's pretty funny. But no, it's got some tongue-in-cheekness to it, but it also has enough seriousness to it to maintain an actual plot line and not just be this kind of random goofiness. It's not flirting with breaking the fourth wall, so it doesn't feel like it's treading the ground that Deadpool treads or that sort of thing. So yeah, it's on my pull now. I'll be picking it up for a while just to at least see how this goes for a bit. Art inside of it is outstanding artwork. It's really fun superhero artwork. Just kind of a really fun title. Justice League, the Forever Evil tie-in, issue 26. We get tons of information on Power Ring and that sort of stuff. We get some other, we also get a bunch on Grid. Grid's hunting for emotion. Most exciting part of this book for me, and of course this is, just for me and maybe a couple other diehard fans. I'm looking for the right page right now. But yeah, he's seeking emotions. That's what he's looking for. We see the horrible process that Power Ring goes through to re-energize his ring. It's almost like he gets molested by some Chthonian tentacle thing every time he has to recharge the ring, which I thought was interesting. We also get some interesting details on Superwoman, the fact that she doesn't have a file. She's kind of hidden stuff, and what must have been in the other book. So I lost my opportunity to go, woo! At any rate, it's the other one. I thought it was this one. I thought it was this one that had Power Ring and him asking for support, and they mentioned Doom Patrol again. So, very excited about that. So, guess it was in Forever Evil they mentioned Doom Patrol. This is an okay issue. We get a bunch of information on Power Ring, and we also get a bunch of information on Johnny Quick and Atomica and their version of Firestorm, which I'm drawing a blank on the name of right now. So they've pretty much gotten a kind of a quasi-history on everybody who is part of the crime syndicate. Yeah, we'll see where it all goes. It was an okay issue. Red in the Hood and the Outlaws, issue 26. I picked this up because this issue, Jason Todd gets his memory back and basically takes it to the League of Assassins and Ra's al Ghul. Yay, you know, we can celebrate the fact that Jason Todd's back to being Jason Todd. You know, and he goes, oh, you know, I was, you know, basically I knew this was what was going to happen. It was my plan all along. You know, whatever. And this is the last issue I'll pick up. I had dropped this. I picked this up off the newsstand. I had dropped this, and I'm going to continue to have it dropped until the new creators come on the book. I mean, I liked the idea, but the delivery was clunky. I still think the dialogue is really kind of cheesy and cornball-esque, and didn't really care for it. Supergirl, issue 26, with the ambush of Lobo, our new Lobo, who's still hunting for the old Lobo, or the imposter Lobo, the Lobo that most of us are aware of before the New 52. Well, actually, even during it, if you read Stormwatch. Comes to Earth because supposedly there's somebody on Earth that will be able to tell him where this other Lobo is at. Of course, that person is the scientist who lives at the core of the Earth, who helps with Superman and Supergirl with their Kryptonian powers and whatnot. So there becomes a conflict between Supergirl and Lobo. We'll see what happens. Supergirl has killed Lobo at this point, or at least thinks she has. You know, broke his neck by punching him really hard because he's trying to basically break in, and he's a known assassin, so they assume he's trying to kill the scientist when that really isn't the case. He just wants information from the scientist. But the one thing nice about this is there's a 2-page spread in here that the writer, Tony Bedard, does a pretty good job of just explaining the last 2 arcs and mini-series worth of crap that went on before this, condensed it down really quickly for her to explain to the scientist where she's been and what's been going on and why she's the way she is now and whatnot. I was planning on dropping this book. I'm going to hang around. I've heard that she's basically going to become a Red Lantern, which I think is going to be really interesting, potentially really cool. We'll see where they go with that. If they don't do something decent with the character, I'm dropping it because it's been not good lately. They haven't treated the character well. She's just a basically walking, talking, flying victim all the time. She's a sucker for everything, so hopefully we'll get something new out of it and we won't keep getting that. Wonder Woman issue 26, absolutely wonderful cover here. Doesn't necessarily have a whole lot to do with what's inside the book, of course. The estranged sister, which I can't remember her name right now, still looking for the first. She weasels that out of some people. Actually, Wonder Woman tells her where the first is at, that he's on Mount Olympus and all that, to keep him from killing her other siblings. Which is interesting. We'll see where that goes, if she's going to attack Mount Olympus or whatever, how that's going to all work out. We also get Strife, Being Strife in here. She kind of plants a seed in Zoe's head, Zoe and Zeke's head, to convince them that she should take the baby and leave because people are dying around her and it's all her fault. So maybe she should just take off. So Strife basically causes strife and gets her to wander off and whatnot. I'm really curious about that. You know, this is a question to you guys that are reading this. Is Strife being this way just because she's Strife? That's who she is and she can't be anything different than that? Does she really have feelings? I mean, is she really actually broken up over war's death at the hands of Wonder Woman, and that that's why she's being the way she's being to everybody and messing this thing up with Wonder Woman or whatnot? Or is it just, this is her nature, this is how she is, these are the emotions that she's going to go through because she's Malice. You know, she is Malice. So, really curious about that. Great book. Wonder Woman is such an underrated book, but extremely, extremely solid. You listen to anybody talk about this book that's actually reading it, they love it to death. They think it's one of the best things out there. I continue to encourage everybody, pick up the trades. If you don't want to pick up the singles, read. Great stuff, exciting stuff going to be moving forward as we flirt more with the idea of Wonder Woman is the god of war. She has actually taken that mantle, whether she wants it or not. It has been awarded to her and we'll see what happens going forward. It's going to be very, very exciting stuff. X-Men issue number 8. I think this is my last issue of X-Men. I did take this off my poll. Actually was a somewhat interesting issue. We had this new Lady Deathstrike. We get Typhoid Mary in the book. She actually breaks into the X-Men mansion, steals some information from the X-Men. They hunt her down. It has to do with the whole the biological cybernetic virus thing that doesn't actually go off, but they think they found the place where it is. They've now put the Enchantress in the story to some degree also. Yeah, it's still not real great. I think what made it more appealing is the Dodsons are doing the artwork, and I really like their artwork, so that made it more appealing, but still not really that interested in it. It really hasn't captured anything that I'm excited about reading, so it's still not going to be on my poll list. Young Avengers, issue number 14. This is entitled Resolution Part 1. Next issue is the final issue. Really, really like this issue. I like this issue a lot. There's a change of artists through it. Different scenes are going on. I actually didn't mind that. I thought it worked quite well. The biggest thing about this book is it kind of really bums me out in the fact that we spent 13 issues, and it really has been extremely Kid Loki centric, and we have all these other wonderful characters, and in this we get these wonderful character moments from these other characters that I really like. Right at the very beginning we get this kind of talk between Kate Bishop and Ms. America as they're getting ready to go to this basically New Year's Eve, yay we all lived, celebration party. And it's a great moment. It's a great moment that I wish there were a lot more of. There's actually some good moments once again between Teddy and Wiccan, which are pretty good. And there's some painful but good moments between Kate Bishop and Marvel, which are really good. Just lots of great character moments that this made me go, man, there could be a lot more to this book, and it's a shame that that they decided, since how these guys didn't want to tell any more stories with it, that they're closing it down. I wish that these two creators had thought that they were excited about doing more with these characters. Just give us more, just kind of them and their relationship and how they deal with stuff. I think would have been really, really, really cool book. We always got some of that all the way along, but not like we got glimpses of it here. So yeah, really enjoyed the book, but it makes me lament what the book could have been. So that's it for my superhero books. Going forward, it's 2014. We'll see what 2014 has to do for us. Have a great one, everybody.